Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
И всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами Алекс, и мы сегодня играем с вами в Stanley Parable, как-то так. Давайте
All of
пошли.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Все его
Stanley
коллеги
decided to
исчезли.
go to
Как
the
же так
meeting room.
случилось?
Perhaps
Стэнли
he had
решил
simply
пойти в
missed the memo.
конференц-зал, может он просто пропустил? Что там, пропустил объявление? Ладно. Что-то вообще пусто, а? Бардак, ладно. Так, аккуратненький давай.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
В дверь слева? Ну я не хочу туда, я хочу справа.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Отлично. Вот он, да.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Отлично, да,
It had
посидим на
really been
диванчике.
worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Да-да, здесь хорошо. Выпей газировки. Ладно, пошлите.
Yes. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Так,
So he
пошлите.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked
Нашел
straight
первую
ahead to
дверь
the opposite
слева.
door, and got back on track.
Пошел прямо в открытую дверь напротив и вернулся на правильный путь. Так. А если я вот хочу вот сюда прийти, а? Вот что это такое, а? Давайте, поехали. Что там такое?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Налево? Я
Oh,
иду.
no. No, it's to the right, my mistake.
Направо? Сейчас я иду.
No,
Подожди.
no, not the right. Why
Подожди,
would I
ты
have
чё?
ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Открой двери,
It's
открой
clearly-
двери.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Так, открывай двери мне.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down.
Влево, вниз,
left,
влево, вправо.
right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Что открывается? А, во. Отлично. Это мы куда пошли? Это что такое?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick,
Так,
Stanley,
ничего
close
себе.
your eyes. Okay.
Он за нами смотрит,
Just
что ли?
back
Отлично
to,
вообще.
Oh, who am I kidding?
Камеры, ё-моё.
It's all rubbish now. The whole
Фары.
story completely
Не работает,
unusable.
что ли?
How about, rather than waste my time trying to
Офигенно.
salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
Чё, сначала? Я не хочу сначала.
From the top.
Так, ребят, ну, пойдемте снова.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Да-да,
Stanley
все
decided
коллеги
to go to the
исчезли.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Да-да-да, уведомление. Так, куда мы правильно идем?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Ну что там, давай, решай что-нибудь.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Что? Ты мне открыл все двери, я не знаю даже, куда пойти-то. Так, там, вот здесь, а здесь ходила, вот туда в конференц-зал. Так, куда ж пойти-то, а? Давай пойдем сюда. Так, давай налево. Так, вообще пустота какая, а? Ну...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we just need to restart the game again?
Снова перезапустить,
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Не надо перезапускать, Так, снова всем привет. Этот, я не знаю, задолбал игру перезапускать.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Да, иду я, только ты двери открой.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
А где все двери-то,
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Ну, давай, хорошо, я согласен. Давай, открой туда дверьку. Ух ты, там что-то есть. Так. Ну, куда еще обратно-то?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Так, мы куда идем-то?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Криворукий, ё-моё, писатель. Так, мы... Что за хрень, а? Мы ходим по одному и тому же месту,
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
О, я победил, отлично.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
Ну что ты там, давай.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Так, мы снова в офисе. И вот эта зеленая стрелка была? Stanley Parable.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Так, никого нету. Как всегда, как обычно уже. Так, а мы вроде бы прямо шли, нет? Ух ты двери открыл, зашибись. Ну-ка. Можно пройти к компьютеру, а? Ладно. Так, куда это у нас ведет, а?
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
А где свобода выбора?
Simply
Я
by
хочу
the act
повернуть
of
куда-нибудь.
moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Так,
Now we
мы
can
идем
both
наверх.
agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct
так, ладно.
of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Идем.
Okay.
Так.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this
что за
office,
фигня?
is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective
Ух ты.
construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Так, это куда мне идти
where I
тогда?
was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to
Так,
lighten the
какая-то
mood.
херня приходит. Ой, ё-моё. Нафига ты музыку врубила? О, 007, отлично. Выруби музыку, а. Ах ты ж. Куда мне идти-то? Ё-моё. Выруби музыку. Так, за полосочкой. Так, ну там я не пролезу. Так, отлично. Идем за полосочкой.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely
Так,
and
зачем мне это?
remember
Ну,
it
смотри, красивый
carefully.
папоротник.
You won't want to miss anything.
Что, красивый папоротник? Сам растил. Ну что, я его посмотрел, хватит? Можно топать? Ну все, я пошел. Так, все закрыто.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a
Так, ну
bell?
да. Опа.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done
Так,
this
опять
to us?
камеры.
And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ладно, друзья, вот мы снова здесь. Мы дойдем вообще до конца-то, нет, а? Автор долбаный. Ты что там говоришь, а? Вот полоса,
You
а?
know what,
Ой, да
Stanley?
ё-моё.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know.
Какой вон
How
тут?
about this direction?
Ты где дверь открыл? А, вон туда? Окей, я пойду сюда.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
Так, а мы по кругу
imagination.
ходим или нет?
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Ну, что здесь у нас?
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having
Она
any role
откуда
in
там?
our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ну, пошлите по полосе. Опять. Так, оп. Она пошла выше, ладно. Так, мы куда-то пришли.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From
Так,
here,
куда
the
мы пойдем?
story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
Так,
so I
ладно.
know that each door has to lead
Думаем.
somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Давай открывай двери, а.
Since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley.
Всё,
Our
отлично.
destiny awaits.
Окей, это что? Сейчас опять перезагрузка будет? Это бомба?
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me
Сестры,
that's what this
старый
is?
стар.
It's all one
16
giant ending?
минут мы бегаем с
And
тобой.
we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Офигенно.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart
Пройти,
again.
перезагрузить, пройти,
Am I just supposed
перезагрузить,
to
пройти,
forget?
перезагрузить.
Well,
Офигенно,
what if
да.
I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
7-й рестарт
wall.
и 8-й
Well,
рестарт.
who
Офигенно.
consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Так,
I won't do it.
Двери сюда.
And the
Ой,
timer
ё.
stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Так, ну давай, дверь открывай.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Читаем тогда уж.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Ой, ё-моё. Так, всем привет опять. Мы что, опять на начале? Так, ну, ладно.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Хорошо, сейчас пойдем, как он говорит. Больше нам такие сбои не нужны. А нет, двери есть, окей, все хорошо.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Я зашел туда. Давай пройдем всю историю оттуда и все. Вот
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Да.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Так, а где начальник-то? Босс. Подняться.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Так,
his
ладно, пойдем
boss's
по
office.
истории. Пойдем по истории. Потом побегаем вниз и нифига себе начальник живет. Начальник не богат случайно, а? Офигенно.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
О, у меня глаза появился.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Да это, наверное, штаб агента 007, а?
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Так, пойдемте. Так, опять такой же лифтик. Поехали.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Так, отлично, мы куда-то приехали. Блин, что за место, а?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Станция управления сознанием. Так, ясненько. Ну, кажется, это то место. Сейчас будут все экраны гореть, да? Так, мы подходим. И тыкаем.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this
Так, а мы вон там
place hold?
приходили сверху, да?
Stanley
Мы
thought
вон
to
там
himself.
были, да.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Так, мы вон там были. Ясненько. Ну, сейчас мы пройдем всю историю. Я думаю, на этом закончим. Так, включить камеры.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom.
Так, а мы под какой камерой? 447, 427, а где тут? Включи номера. Что-то происходит? Нет, ладно, пойдемте. А где наша камера? О, вот. 400, 400, 400, 400, где 20? Вот 27. Я вижу ее, давай. Вот наш офис. Так, вы его, наверное, не видите. Это что такое?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Так. Отлично, нам что-то открылось. Поехали.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Так, мы куда едем-то?
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Так, положить конец. Как положу? Так, идти домой. А, ну ясно, все такое. Система управления, короче. О, красная кнопочка. Блин, нажимать, не нажать. Давай нажмем. Давай. А, она не нажимается. Вот какая проблема-то, а. Мониторы всякие. Ящики стоят. Ладно. Кнопочка. Что-то нажалось. Ладно, пойдемте. Ух ты, какой дисплейчик-то, а. Вот бы мне такой, а.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Да, Так, он это включить, либо off это выключить, или наоборот. Так, off, on. Вроде бы off выключить. Так, и...
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Ой.
Yes.
Что за хрень?
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Свобода, Стэнли.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his
co-workers gone?
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Давай, дверька. Мы войдем в красиво.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. and Stanley was happy.
Стэнли был счастлив. Так, мы получили достижение. Так, а это что такое? Так, это что такое, как бы?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Так,
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Так, ладно. Ну, на этом будем, ребят, заканчивать. Надеюсь, вам понравилось. Игрушка, не было никакого экшена. Ну, просто посмотреть сюжет, почитать субтитры. Отличная игра. Но множество концовок. Может быть, еще раз сыграю в нее. Ну, на этом все. С вами был Алекс. Подписывайтесь на канал. Ставьте лайки, если понравилось. Всем удачи, всем добра, всем пока.